What's up guys, the main man here again! Like the 10th video within the last 24 hours. I hope you guys aren't getting fed up with me just yet, because here is another video regarding the outfits. I got quite a number of comments on the video I posted earlier today regarding the Tekken 7 outfits and how I felt they lacked any form of creativity at all. I mean, it's the same old shit we've seen 50 fucking times already. And Heihachi Chaolan writes, yes, they might have the same attire, but hasn't that been the tradition? There would be a traditional one-player costume and then an alternate two-player costume. However, if you were referring to them being in the same attire in the CG renders, then I would have to disagree again, since it would make more sense to pose in a more appropriate fighting attire. Anyway, if they kept the customization options from TTT2 where they allowed you to change the character panel, I don't see the problem with the posing in traditional attires. Well, the problem for me is that those CG renders are renders of their in-game costumes, of course. I mean, that has always been the tradition in Tekken. And as we can see in Tekken 7, it is the same costumes we've been seeing since Tekken 5. And that's cool. I mean, Kazuya and Heihachi are still the same persons. They choose to wear the same stuff. But take for example what they did with Kazuya in Tekken 4. They pretty much did the same thing they did in Tekken 2, as in Tekken 2, but they actually put a twist on it. They have the one-player karate gi pants, but they had this really cool and nifty pattern on the pants. And then for player 2, they had a business outfit, but instead of going with the purple pimp suit, they gave him some cool pants, a shirt with, a nice shirt, and sunglasses. And it looks formal but kind of casual at the same time, very business, professional-like, and it just looks really cool. And it's stuff like that that has been so sorely missing, you know, in the latest games. And how, for example, Hwoarang's alternate outfits in Tekken 4 actually give you a hint of his story. He has his one-player Taekwondo uniform, and then he has his two-peat, second-player military uniform with the crew-cut hair. And that tells us straight away Hwoarang is in the army. So the outfits actually reflect the progress of the story. And this is what has been missing the last few games. This to me is a big problem, and that's why I would have wanted, as I said in my Tekken 7 wishlist video, that the story actually took a big leap forward, you know, in time, like they did between Tekken 2 and Tekken 3, where it jumped 20 years. I mean, imagine seeing a middle-aged Jin fighting an elderly Kazuya. Kazuya is as old as Heihachi, and Heihachi is dead, he's long gone. And maybe Jin has a daughter who fights in the Mishima style. I mean, I think it's stuff like that would bring back, you know, life into Tekken. I know that the gameplay is, of course, the most important to most of us, but I feel the story, it has just stood still since Tekken 5. They just keep making up these new entities, supernatural mega bosses that come out of nowhere. We've never heard of them before, and introducing new Mishimas. I mean, Jinpachi was fine, although that felt quite ham-fisted, but okay. And now we get Kazumi, who's of course going to be the origin of the devil gene, which I think is completely ridiculous and unnecessary. And yes, some guy even, or several people wrote that it's unfair of me to say that they raped the story, as Harada has said himself that Kazuya always had the devil gene. Well, I'm sorry, but even if that's correct that he said that, I still think that the story is better as it was in Tekken 1 and 2, where Kazuya does not have a devil gene, and at the age of 10 he sells his soul to the devil for the reason that he wants to survive and get some revenge on his father, Heihachi. that was the official story, and that's much better than Kazuya being born with some fucking devil. But of course, it might be too early to judge, but to me, the story was better as it was, because that actually had more to do with human emotion rather than being born with a gene. I mean, that's genetics. But yeah, I'm rambling about rather unimportant stuff at this point. But so yeah, I just wanted to clear some stuff up. Cheers.